What if I told you that using the wrong credit card for groceries could be the reason why you're missing out on free flights every year? And no, putting all your spend on just one card is not the answer either. I used to do that and I realized pretty soon that I was doing it all wrong. So in this video, I'm walking you through my current credit card setup, meaning what I use, where I use it, and how I'm expecting to earn a ton of points with my regular spending. Alright, so let's talk about the fun stuff. First up is groceries. So for groceries, I was using the Citi Custom Cash Card. This card gets you 5x thank you points on your top spend category each month. And that's pretty much where I use this card and nowhere else actually. So if you don't know about the Citi Custom Cash Card, it lets you earn the points, but you cannot use these points to transfer to hotel or airline partners. For that, I had a plan to sign up for the Citi Straight Up Premier Card eventually, and then combine my points from the Citi Custom Cash with my points that I earned from the Citi Straight Up Premier and then use it to transfer out to hotel or airline partners. But if you're more of a cashback person and don't really care about travel points, the Citi Custom Cash Card can also be used to earn cashback instead of points. So it's flexible that way, which I think is nice. Next up is Target, Costco, and Walmart. So it's important for you to know that even though these stores kind of seem like they are grocery stores, they actually do not code as grocery stores with your credit cards. That is why at these stores, I use the Capital One Venture X card that gets me 2x points on all my purchases. Also, being a Visa card, this card is accepted at Costco, so that makes my life a little easier. So I can always get 2x points at Costco at least. And another card that I use for these stores during specific times of the year is the Chase Freedom Card. If you don't know about this card, they actually run 5% quarterly cashback on rotating categories. So whenever I see the Target, Walmart, or wholesale clubs like Costco on the categories, that's when I make the switch over to this card. Also important to note here is that this is not the Chase Freedom Flex card, which by the way is a MasterCard and it's not accepted at Costco. This is their legacy card or their original Chase Freedom card, which is a Visa card. You cannot apply for this legacy card or the original Freedom Visa card anymore, but there's sort of a workaround. So if you're looking to change your products from, say, your Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve, you can actually give Chase a call and let them know that you want to change your product to the original Freedom card that earns ultimate reward points. Make sure to mention that it's a Visa card so that they know the exact product that you're talking about. Next category is Wi-Fi and cell phone service. So for cell phone service, I actually am part of a family plan, so I don't pay that with my own credit card. I just Venmo that amount to the family leader. But for Wi-Fi is where I use my very favorite Capital One Venture X. Again, for 2x points, and it's kind of like a set it and forget it thing for me. If you do want to get advanced with it, I know that some people also use their Chase Freedom or Freedom Flex card whenever they're running 5% categories on Wi-Fi and cell phone service. So that is one way for you to maximize for that quarter. But for me, I find that to be a little bit of a hassle. So I just use my Capital One Venture X and call it a day. The next category is, I think, all of our favorite. This is dining out or restaurants. So dining is a category where I rotate my cards a little bit. Whenever I have an expense for takeout restaurants, DoorDash, Uber Eats sort of a thing, I use between the two cards, which are the Chase Sapphire Preferred card and the Built Credit card. Both of these cards give me 3x points on dining. Again, it's important to know that there are better credit cards out there, like the Amex Gold gets you 4x on dining and actually also on groceries. But that card currently is not a part of my setup. But if that's one of the cards that you want to consider for your expenses, I suggest you check out this video in which I share with you some important tips that you should know before you enter the world of American Express points. Also, a side note here. As of the filming of this video, Chase Sapphire Preferred is actually running a 100,000 points sign-up bonus offer. This is kind of special because the last time they ran this offer was in 2021. So if you qualify for it, make sure you jump on it right now. And if you would like to use my referral link, you can find it in the description box below. The next category is gas stations. Since I'm a Costco member, I mostly end up using Costco for my gas station, which again brings up the same consideration that you have to use a Visa card. And that means that it's Capital One Venture X for the win once again. Visa accepted, 2x points, so it's very simple throughout the year. If you have a Chase Freedom Visa card and there is a quarterly bonus running for gas stations, you can actually maximize your points by using that Visa card at the Costco gas stations as well. Our next category is shopping, which means clothing, tech, random household stuff, etc. Okay, so this one is kind of a mix because there is no one credit card that gets you better return for one store versus the other. So in my case, I've noticed that I do end up using the Amex Platinum card a lot for these purchases, especially because of all the Amex offers that I see on my app for certain specific stores. So if you have an Amex card, you're probably familiar with all the discounts and bonus points that you can get using Amex offers. And it's really great to stack your discounts on top of anything that the store might be running. Now, yes, the Amex Platinum card will only get me 1x point in ordinary circumstances, but when there are all these discounts running, I think it just makes sense. Another card that I sometimes pull out for random shopping things is my Chase Freedom Unlimited card that gets you 1.5x on all purchases. But I will say that that's not the smartest. If you cannot think of any other card, I suggest you pull out your Capital One Venture X card because that's the one that gets you 2x points on every single purchase. So it is a no-brainer. And I do have some more cards that I keep but don't use on the daily, but I did want to show you. And they are my hotel credit cards. So I have the Hilton card, the World of Hyatt card, and I have the Marriott Bonvoy card, all of which I keep around just for random perks and some free night certificates. And the next thing that I focus on while using some credit cards specifically is the minimum spend focus. For example, right now I'm working on meeting the minimum spend on this United Explorer credit card that I got just very recently because I did see certain big expenses coming up. So these days, this is my main credit card that I'm using until I hit that minimum spend requirement, which I think is $3,000. And after that is when I'm going to bring my focus back on my usual daily driver credit cards. If you're opening a new credit card, it always makes sense to first meet your minimum spend requirement until you hit that threshold. And after that, you move on to using your other credit cards to maximize your points. So even if that credit card is not the perfect card for each spend category, it gets you that welcome bonus, and that's where the big value comes from. By the way, if you're curious about the United Explorer card and wondering if the changes make sense for you, I have made a video on it recently that I'll be linking up here and in the description box. So feel free to check it out if you're thinking of applying for this card. Okay, so if you're watching all of this and wondering, cool, but what credit card should I be using? Here's the deal. Definitely start off by figuring out what your goal is. If it's travel, then I think you can get significantly more value by using credit cards that are more geared towards transferable currencies like the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Amex cards, the Build card, Capital One card, so on and so forth. But if you're a cashback person, that is totally valid too. You just need to figure out what your top spend categories are and get the best credit cards for each category. And definitely don't feel like you need 10 or more credit cards in your wallet to make this all happen. If you have 2 to 3 solid credit card options for your top spend categories, you're already like in the top 10%, I think. So there it is. This was my current credit card setup. I know it's not perfect and it'll probably keep changing and evolving as I see more deals and more expenses come up. I'll keep you posted on that. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the next one.